Hello, good evening, and welcome to Liévin in France for the French Grand Prix and the 7th and final round of the FIM SuperEnduro World Championship. I'm Dave Moore, and alongside me for this last hurrah of 2025 is Paul Bolton. We're just getting things underway right now. Tonight we've got the Prestige class, which was won, the World Championship was won a week ago by Billy Bolt in Newcastle. There's still a small matter of who's going to end up this season as runner-up behind him. We've also got titles in the youth and the junior classes to decide as well. This is where we've been this year. We started back in Poland in December, then on to Germany, Romania, back in Poland at the beginning of February, a week later in Hungary, last week in the United Kingdom. And here we are back in France, the season opener for the last campaign, the season closer for this one. As I said, alongside me is Paul Bolton. Still plenty to play for. Absolutely. And of course, Billy Bolt will want to end the season in the manner that he's been through all the way through.
Well, if he carries on what he's done this morning, then he's going to get that done and dusted again tonight. You know, there's win bonuses still on the line for him in his contracts and things like that, so he isn't going to hold back. But yeah, it's all to play for, like you say, Dave, with the rounding up the podiums in the other classes. And yeah, we've got to crown a youth world champion and also a junior world champion as well. And the track they will be doing it on, we can show you right now. So you can just see live pictures right now, but we'll just give you an analysis of what the riders will have to contend with. It's very different to what they experienced back in France last season. Out of the start gate, and it's a fast start, no tight turn this time, Paul. That's right, Dave, and there's a feature straight into off the start. They've got a single log, and then they're actually going to jump off the log onto the flat tyres, and that's where they're not going to be allowed to jump that off the start today, just for safety reasons. The first log that Ashton's going to hit here isn't in anymore. That was taken out the other day for more flow in the track, which I think was a great decision. All the riders, all the officials agreed. So yeah, they're going to jump across that into the rhythm, into this rhythm section now, where they're all going to double it on the second lap, but timing is key. So they're going to land on that flat tyre there from the log in before it, and then there's these two big logs up to your knee, these are, and they're going to take a lot of energy out of your shoulders. And yeah, they look fairly straightforward though, Paul. You know, it's but they're big logs. That's the key, isn't it? Exactly, and they just knock the flow out of your body and the bike. And yeah, when you see Ash here, he's just on the sighting laps of his POV, so that's nowhere near race pace. And obviously they've had quite a bit of practice today, and yeah, they're tuned in. And then into this rock garden, which isn't the biggest rock garden in the world, but I suppose the key to this rock garden is it's on a bend. That's right, and obviously, like you say, you hit the nail on the head. When it's on a bend, as soon as you dip your front wheel into any little hole, it's going to stop the front wheel, and then the handlebars are going to go onto the lock stop, and you're possibly going to go over the bars or definitely be stopped. But it's nice and wide for the start. We're not going to see anybody. The race line is where Ash is going there. The race line is going to be very similar for everybody, but off the start, it's wide enough to go all the way around the outside. And then into the double tyres. Yeah, so they're not going to double all the way over there. That gap is humongous from that tyre, as you can see on that angle there. So that's more of a single tyre, so they'll try to scrub as much speed, stay as low as they can over the first one, and then they'll just be doubling that next one, nice and smooth. They're sort of wheel tapping the front tyre on that one, and then they're into that long right-hander, which I reckon the right-hander before the matrix, we could see some people running up the inside, holding each other up before the matrix. Yeah, but you'd want good speed into that matrix, so maybe the long way round the berm is the way to do it? Yeah, that's the way, but then obviously then you set up coming onto the left-hand side of the matrix, which, as we know, as the track gets more destroyed as the races go on, the dirt's going to get lower and lower, which is going to make the logs even harder to double. And where Ash is now, they're actually quadding that, some of them. Yeah, the likes of Johnny, Billy and Ash managed to do that. I don't think, did Mitch do one in the end? Yeah, Mitch got it as well. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Mitch got it as well, but Mitch had a massive crash on that this morning in free practice. Now, we're going into this double jump. Is a quad the best way to prepare for this double jump? So you've got that rhythm. I believe the race line for SuperPole, they're going to quad, and then they're going to do the tyre jump in the corner. But I think for the racing, I think it's going to be triple, single, and then they're going to do tyre double.
Yeah, you were talking
in the
as
corner.
well, maybe looking at that tyre double there, is to, on the second one, is to single that and then try and double these logs?
Yeah, single the tyres and then double the 2 logs after. But I spoke to Mitch Brightmore about it, and he said that when you come down off the tyres, it's really puts the back end up in the air, and there's no way. It feels a really funny position. So yeah, and then they're into this long log turn, and there's so many different rhythms on this one, I can't even keep up.
Yeah, pyramids, and as well as the different they go different ways, don't they?
That's right. And if we look at that last raised up log, Billy's actually gone from this one all the way to that log on the floor, and that's just going to be for a SuperPole lap because the timing beam is on the floor in between the finish line jump.
Wow.
From that one all the way to that one that Ash's tyre touched there.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So, but some of the ruts haven't been prepped as well as they normally are in between in the break.
Yeah.
So it depends how that long right-hander's prepped at this point.
That's not quite, that is the finish line. However, that's not quite the lap.
Exactly.
So they go over this jump here.
New lines inside, and they've put some more dirt against the log. So there's going to be more lines created there, which is good. And then we're across the front of the start gate after this bit.
Yeah, just coming into it now, this right-hand turn.
From there's more lines in that corner, which is exciting. And then
it's a tight, and then I thought, to me, when I first looked, I thought the corner jump in there, this log corner, looked tricky considering the size of those 2 logs.
Yeah.
They are beasts.
Yeah, they're up to like your middle of your thigh, especially the second one, and like you could just see Ash spinning up there, and that was when there was a lot more bark on it. Now there's the bark's completely gone off that log, and it's getting polished, and the moisture out of the dirt is just going onto that, and it's making it slippier.
Yeah, so there we go, just coming through. Here's to say that I think we might see 1 or 2 coming unstuck there, but there we go, folks. That is what the riders have to tackle. That is their challenge in Liévin in France tonight. Let's take another look at it, but this time from the rider's perspective with Ash Brightmore.
Hi everyone, Ashton Brightmore here. We're here at round 7 here in France, Liévin, for the final round of the 2025 season. Let's go on a lap. So straight off the start, into a few logs, down the first straight, head into the first corner. We're going to come into some rocks here. This is going to change the positions a bit. Over some big tyres, some more tyres, into a 180 right, head into the log matrix. There's a few different rhythms we can make here, so we'll be good for racing. Over the tyres, these are quite soft, into the log turn, a few more different rhythms, heading over the finish line now, nice big jump, 90 right, back across the start, into a tight log corner, maybe make some passes here, back onto the first straight, might be able to double here, back over the logs, and yeah, back into the rocks. Maybe we can get a few lines here. They're quite technical, a little slippy. The dirt here is quite soft but hard at the same time, so we're going to get some good traction. And yeah, back into the logs. As I said, we can get some few different rhythms here. Maybe we can jump the tyres, then back round the log corner, over the back into the finish line, big whip to finish it off. You can watch all this on the SuperEnduro.tv.
So there we go, Ashton Brightmore with a lap of the course, bouncing around, Paul.
Yeah, that's something we didn't mention, and Ash just mentioned towards the end. The ground's very bouncy, it's very moist, and yeah, it's going to get a different, when your bike lands off an obstacle, it's going to get a second rebound. A little bit like Newcastle was, but not as bad here, and the dirt here is holding together a little bit better, but we are going to see these Prestige guys rip this track to pieces.
So can they adjust their suspension accordingly to that, you know, in terms of making sure that they're not bouncing around so much?
Yeah, you can, but to a certain point, but you know, you can make it a bit stiffer to plough through the ruts a bit better and things like that. But yeah, you've got to ride and you've got to feel the bike as you would do normally and just feel your way into everything.
You join us for the rider presentation here in Liévin, the Grand Prix of France. And it sounds like, are we going to get a word with Johnny Walker? This is Billy Bolt coming in now, the world champion 5 times in a row, putting on the style.
Yeah, and you can just see even there when Billy does his stoppie how much the front tyre digs into the ground. So the traction is mega, but once the ruts get there, they're going to be fighting them.
Okay, sounds like we're going to hear from Johnny and Billy.
Avec une toute nouvelle machine, comment tu te sens avant d'attaquer la soirée?
Yeah, it's nice to be back here. Obviously, last year was really good. The track was good, and I think tonight's going to be the same. The arena's cool the way it is, so excited to get racing.
Voilà, je suis particulièrement excité de participer à la soirée de ce soir. Je me souviens de l'année passée, c'était extraordinaire. Un applaudissement, je dirais même mieux une ovation pour Johnny Walker.
So I'm sure we'll hear from Billy Bolt.
Pour Monsieur Billy Bolt, du bruit!
Billy, happy to see you back in Liévin. How do you feel? You're already world champion, but the goal is to win tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It's great to be back. I see we've got a full house tonight, so that's always nice. And yeah, for me, obviously, the big goal was completed last week, but the goal for tonight doesn't change. You know, I give 100% every time I go on the track, and yeah, we got SuperPole, 3 finals to go, and I just want to have fun, give 100%, and let's see what happens.
Alors bien sûr, je suis très heureux d'être ici. Bien sûr que je suis très heureux d'être déjà champion du monde. J'ai fait le travail la semaine dernière, mais mon objectif, moi, quand je monte sur ma moto, c'est toujours de gagner, c'est de me donner à 100%. Il y a ce soir la SuperPole, les 3 manches. Il va essayer de tout gagner. Billy Bolt, une nouvelle fois, avant de les retrouver tout à l'heure, le public de Liévin, de tous les côtés, Johnny Walker, Billy Bolt!
So there we go. The riders have been presented to this sellout arena here in France. And yeah, you hear what Billy said there. Even we saw that today in qualifying, and he's just never satisfied. He's got the title sewn up. He doesn't want to just sit back and ride around. You know, he wants to push himself. He wants to push the Husqvarna. He wants to push everybody else.
Yeah, and he does it for his sponsors. He does it for everything. And, you know, it's a big package what they've got to achieve, and you know, it's never wins are wins, and media and prestige is prestige. So that's what it's all about.
So these are some of the prestige riders here tonight. We've got SuperPole not too far away, of course. 3 points for first place, 2 points for second, and a point for third. So these are the riders in SuperPole this evening. Dominic Aljavi will be first away. Toby Martin
just sneaked in by the skin of his teeth.
He did with a last moment lap. Eddie Carlson on the Stark Future bike as well. He will be in SuperPole. Ashton Brightmore on the X-Grip Gas.
First to do the quad in the Matrix.
He was. Johnny Walker on the Triumph Racing machine. Second is Mitch Brightmore, also on the X-Grip Gas, and it's Husqvarna's Billy Bolt, who will be the red-hot favourite, 2.5 seconds quicker than anybody else in time practice this afternoon here in France. And after what we saw in Newcastle last week, I cannot wait for this one, Paul.
No, me too. And you know, like we said in Newcastle, the prestige class only get to ride a prep track in the SuperPole if you make it into the SuperPole. But this time, through the Matrix, it's not as prepped as it has been earlier on today. So might we see this quad? I'm not sure. I think we will, but yeah, some of the other rhythms we might not see it.
Yeah. We'll see. We shall see. Everything is about to be revealed here in France. Dominic Aljavi, as I said, will be the first rider away. So he was 41 seconds was his best time earlier on, 41.4. He was 0.3 slower than Toby Martin, but Dominic Aljavi, who began the season in such spectacular fashion, really taking the fight to Billy in his home Grand Prix in Poland in the opening round, but unfortunately a couple of little niggles, a couple of injuries, he's still not quite right, but maybe, just maybe, we might see the real Dominic Aljavi this evening. So he'll set off around this course, so anything inside 40 seconds I think would be good for Dominic. And also
they're also going to miss the log turn, so they're not going to get to ride that. Normally they get to ride almost every part of the track before they go full gas into the SuperPole, and they're not going to get the chance unless they do a hard left out the gate, which I don't think they're going to do. I think they're going to go down the start straight.
We will find out. No Will Hoare this evening. He was in Newcastle, but he's elected to sit this round out.
Yeah, he's been struggling with his ankle since a crash earlier on in the season, and I think he's realised points aren't going to change much, and sometimes you're best getting yourself fixed, when you need to.
And no Freddie Gomez again. Unfortunately, we saw him injured in Budapest, but he's healing really, really fast. He missed the last round, of course, in Newcastle, and he's not quite made it for this one. So Dominic Aljavi.
Nerve-wracking wait there.
Yeah.
Waiting some time, and looks like Pedro, the FIM officials, waiting for something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but he needs a green light from someone.
Yeah, probably hear the stadium announcer in the background still talking. So, is this it? Does this look good?
Yeah, we're away.
We are away. So Dominic Aljavi just sighting lap.
Yeah, just having a look at the log corner then, just out the corner of his eye as he was going down.
So one of quite a number of former junior world champions in the prestige class. And of course we've got the junior world championship and the youth titles to sort out later this evening.
So this should be double, and then I think they'll go triple, single.
Yeah, I think you're right
at the moment,
there.
but I think we'll see a quad off a couple of them. But it will have to feel 100% right. Get the long corner with the logs right, and you're making time. A lot of you hitting the skid plate, and Dominic's off.
Here we go, Dominic Aljavi on the Ryu.
Inside line there was nice and tight.
And he's gone into that log.
Nailed the log corner.
So this is good so far, and that's nice. Kept the momentum, kept the speed up. He's looking pretty rapid into the rock garden. A quick slight dab, lost a little bit of time there.
It was a bit stop-starty there. No. Double.
Another double.
Triple, single, and then over this one. Like we've said earlier on today, for those that have missed it, that tyre double, the tyres onto the log is so bouncy. Them tyres, they have to go onto there really lightly. If you hit them too hard, it's going to go in and ping you fully over the bars like it did to Eddie Carlson this morning.
That's Aljavi's fastest time of the day, though, 40.0, so he'll take good heart from that.
Yeah, I feel he was cleaner in his sighting lap in the rocks than he was on his race lap.
But there's no pressure in the sighting lap, is there? That's the thing. There is no pressure. As Toby Martin now launches himself into the arena, he's on his way, coming down into the log corner.
Just tagged the back wheel on that log, but super clean and very stylish through the log turn.
So again, and he clears the tyres this time. Aljavi just touched it with his rear into the rock garden. So far, so good for Toby Martin.
Very nice through the rocks.
So just coming now into this berm, into the matrix.
Very hard to get from the seat up into that double. It's a bit cross-rutty, you have to go double. Still through. He's the one using a little bit more inside line than the others, which stalls that middle part, but he's faster out.
He should be inside 40 seconds.
This is close. I wouldn't like to call it.
Oh, 40.8.
Yeah,
just
that was
slightly.
so close.
Where did you think he just lost that little bit of time there, Paul?
I think he lost it because he missed the triple. He went double through all the matrix, and he would have gone faster if he'd have done the triple. And he got a little bit cross-rutted going in.
It's been a historic year in SuperEnduro. The first time we've had an electric bike competing in the championship, and Eddie Carlson, after some fine performances early on in the campaign,
lighting it up.
Yeah, not really been...
Style points for Eddie there, I'm saying.
Recovered well because all his weight was forward, and again there's a difference in weight on this bike, isn't there? So
yeah, there is, but that was just literally getting too much of a kick from the back end, that's all.
Do you think that's...
Nicely over that. He just got a nasty kick. That was just nothing he could do. It's still fast-ish,
So there he goes across the line, and it is 39.6. He takes SuperPole so far.
I think he rode the front wheel for a second.
did. Something that Billy Bolt doesn't know anything about. Ash Brightmore is getting ready to fire his way around on the X-Grip gas. Here we go. So Ash Brightmore, we would expect he was one of only 4 riders to go inside 40 seconds today. Eddie Carlson's now become the 5th Prestige rider. That's so tricky, isn't it?
Absolutely textbook off the back wheel.
You can see that to have that early, the log corner early on, that could really knock your lap, couldn't it? But
he carried some really good speed through the rhythm lane, really good speed. He's gone inside here, so he's opting to try and get some better line. Gone triple. He'll get this one. This is going to go faster, I reckon.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be inside.
Get this one.
Here we go. Yeah, perfect. So he does a 38.0. So 38.0, which is a second and a half quicker than he did in qualifying.
So when you can see Johnny Walker's just on the track at the minute, but the ruts are causing the problem for this quad. So yeah, the guys are going to have some confidence to really get that quad out. But when they do get the quad in the matrix, it's so tricky. If you're a little bit offline in the tyre double, then you're definitely going to lose time.
Johnny Walker second in the championship, and the way things are, he should end the season as second.
Oh, he's run it into the gate. Run wide on that. Tidy there. He's off the track a bit more again.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
he's trying.
A kick.
He is trying.
He's angry with himself. He's made 2 mistakes, and he doesn't normally make mistakes like that. But rock section, fast.
Looking to carry the speed. Does the 2 doubles, triple, and then the single.
Oh, he's gone wide.
Oh, he has gone wide.
He's off the track.
Yeah, it's cost him.
Yeah, he's unlucky, Johnny.
Do you know what, though? If you're going to be a little bit out of shape,
let's
probably
see
now
what the time was.
Yeah, it's 41.3, the slowest so far.
With mistakes.
Here we go, we're just watching a replay there.
Yeah, that's the rebound of those tyres. It just pinged him to the left and he couldn't do anything about it. He had to get the bike down, otherwise he could have risked injury.
It's the battle of the Brightmores for 3rd overall in the championship, it would seem, as Mitch now fires his way around. This is nice, this is fast, this is good.
Oh, lovely open that turn up with his back wheel. He was so low over the finish line jump. He kept the bike so low but drove the power onto it.
So into this rock garden, little dab.
It's steady there.
Everybody dabs except one rider.
When you put your foot out, it actually pulls you round. So it does help. But if you can keep that weight on, it's so much better.
They've all done the triple single on the Matrix 2.
Mitch having a...
This is good. This is good. Is it going to be inside 38 seconds?
It's got to be.
It's 38.7. Wow.
I think we're going to get a 37 though here, or maybe even a 36.
Well, he did 36.8.
Then we're going to get a 37 is going to be really good, because that's when he quadded. So if he can get that quad and clean everything up.
Is he going to do the quad on this lap, Paul?
If it feels right, he'll go. And that's the decision you've got to make. That was so fast in that log turn. So fast. Carried the speed into that log.
This is the master.
Little hop. Oh, he's off.
So it's a touch.
How did he save that?
Because that's Billy Bolt. That's what he does.
How did he save that?
Here we go. Is it going to be the quad?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. You can hear the engine.
Oh, he's not done that though. How did he manage to save that again? 2 huge saves.
Here we go.
2 huge saves.
And it is 36.5. That's the fastest time so far.
With 2 massive saves. After the rocks, when we watch this back, after the rocks, look how close his front wheel goes to nearly going off the dirt. If that front wheel had gone off the side of the dirt, he would have been on the floor.
Oh, man alive.
What a save.
What a time to be alive to watch Billy Bolt. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely. Look. Oh, man. So yeah, he went for the quad in the end. You could hear he just revved it up, didn't he, before he launched? Yeah. You could hear the engine note go, the big 4-stroke powering up, went over the only rider. Let's hear what he's got to say about that. That was special. Over to you, Marcelena.
That's right, Billy Bolt next to me. Well, Billy, what a SuperPole race. Tell us about it. The big, huge saves for you, and you are the first one after all.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes, but I knew I had good speed. I was fairly confident on most areas of the track, so yeah, like I say, quite a big mistake exiting the rocks, but I knew there was some areas where I could pull back time, so kept it calm. Happy with the rest of it, really. Track's strange though, the dirt's really soft and there's a lot of ruts which you don't really see very well, so it's going to be, it's already tough to start the night, it's only going to get worse as we go on, so it's going to be interesting.
You just said that it's not only about having fun. You're already a world champion, but it's all about winning tonight, right?
Exactly, you know, I mean, the big goal's already been completed, but it's not in my nature to give anything other than 100%, so obviously want to have fun, want to try and enjoy the moment, but at the same time, when the helmet goes on, it's yeah, there's only one goal.
The last round of the season, it's always electric, it's always special. The atmosphere here also is great. How much do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, look around, it's another packed stadium, packed arena. We've had such good support all championship, and I think just the sport in general is in such a healthy position right now. And yeah, I feel lucky to be part of it, to be honest. So hope you guys enjoy your evening, and yeah, with a bit of luck, you'll see me back up here later on.
Thank you, Billy. Have fun tonight.
It's amazing. Thanks, Marcelina. It's amazing, Paul, just to think that had that gone a little bit, if that front wheel had just gone off the track, that would have been a very different interview.
Yeah, it would, for sure. Yeah, we'd have been down in the pits asking what happened later on. But, you know, he is willing to take the risks that others aren't, and yeah, you could see that from the others not doing that quad. And when he did do the quad in the Matrix, he had to hold such a right-hand line that then he had to really work hard to get the tyre double in the corner.
Just looking at confirmation of the SuperPole times, but the thing is, you just say it's knowing to take that risk, to take that chance to do the quad. Yeah. You know, and the result paid off, but you could see how it nearly went wrong.
Yeah, but what I love about Billy is, and not all of them are doing it, once he's made a mistake, he actually sits down on the seat and he's not afraid of pushing his backside, his bum through the seat and pushing the bike like he would with his feet on the foot pegs, and that keeps the back end down, so he's seat bouncing things.
Okay, so let's have a look at some of the best moments from SuperPole here. This is Mitch Brightmore.
So nice.
Yeah, Mitch.
Log turn was epic.
To the naked eye, it looked like this was quicker than Ash, but it was just 7/10 slower in the end. But Mitch he seemed to put together pretty much a perfect lap.
Yeah.
The only thing that he didn't have, that Billy had, was the speed.
Yeah, and it was just that quad really, but...
So this is Ashton, his brother. And again, third place overall, it would seem, is up for grabs, unless something really untoward should happen to Johnny Walker this evening.
I think Ash was just getting the power on a bit more in a few places, just ever so slightly, fractions. Every time he landed, there was a little bit more down. This is Mitch in that turn. Look how he just drives. He's got the front wheel up in the air and he's driving the back wheel off the log. Like, this is dirt that's moist and them logs are slippery.
It's incredible how quick the Brightmores have joined up, pretty much the same level as Johnny Walker and just behind Billy Bolt.
That's right. Here we go.
This is the Billy Bolt there. So coming into this here.
He's gone round, he's clipped it, he wanted to flick it. Look how close the front wheel was to going down the side of the tyre.
Did the back wheel dig in there?
Earlier on today, he'd flicked the back end around in that turn, and I think he'd gone to try that again off a rock, and it didn't work. But did you see how much he hops the back wheel through them sections? And the power down to the ground and forward momentum, it's everywhere.
Absolutely stunning display yet again by